creators to use AI to create their content. We even have trainings on how to leverage AI to use to post content. So no, we will never penalize you for using AI to create your content. Of course, if it's stolen from someone, then you have another issue, which is like to do with copyright and etc. But I'm not going to go into that. But just to answer your question, no, we will not penalize you for using AI to create content.
Yeah. Great question. We had another question, which is from Tara Ted. He's asking, is there any sort of strike if a human reviews it and still finds it not suitable?
Strike on your channel? Absolutely not. However, again, if a human reviews it and decides that we are not going to monetize it, then unfortunately it can't be overturned. So that's the final decision.
Great.
Any more questions? Marietta, do you mind reading them out, please? So
of course, nothing so far. I think we can continue.
Okay, great.
Oh, sorry, Christoph has his hand raised.
Of course, sure. Go ahead.
Christoph, you need to unmute yourself.
Or feel free just to put it in the chat, and then we can always refer to your questions. But again, understand that there may be a lot of questions during the session. So please know that we will always come back at the end if we don't do it during the session, simply because we have a lot of people on the call and we're trying our best to navigate all the questions that come in. So please know that at the end, I've left some time for all of us to sort of go back to the chat and see any questions that have come up. So I'm just going to move on briefly if there's nothing else, Marietta.
Yeah, I think there are a couple of questions around logos. I think we'll touch on that later on. So let's continue for now.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, so when it comes to our policy principles, there are a few things that we look at. Number one, context. When it comes to, for example, documentaries or any sort of event that you want to talk about on the platform, if it's a controversial topic such as, I don't know, I'm just going to use from the top of my head, something that is happening in the media with a celebrity that, you know, is currently going through a trial. If it's educational, we may keep it on the platform. If you're bashing people and you're trying to attract negative attention towards it, then we may not have it on the platform and we may not monetize it as well. And then we also, again, focus, it ties into content, context. So what exactly are you trying to achieve and what do you want your audience to focus on when they look at your content? The third one is tone. Are you using a violent tone? Are you talking normally? What is the tone around the video? Because that also determines the overall direction of where the video can go in the end as well. And the last two, realism and graphicness, tied into violence and drugs. Again, what is it that you're trying to achieve? Are you showing blood? Are you showing fights? Are you showing people arguing? How will it come across to the audience that is currently watching your content? So I'm going to look at a few policies. So we'll start with violence, then we'll look at adult content, inappropriate language, drugs, controversial issues and sensitive events, and the last one will be thumbnail policy. So before I go ahead, I would like to let you guys know that I have put in a few video examples. So you don't need to sort of hear me speak about it. You can just view the video for 30 seconds or so, and then you'll get a better picture of what exactly we want to see on the platform and what exactly we do not want to see. And sometimes there can be gray lines, or the lines can be quite blurred around what can and cannot be monetized. So hopefully this will give you guys a clearer picture. But before I move on, are there any more questions? No. Okay, so violence. When we talk about the policy that has to do with violence, we look at whether the video has any sort of blood, any animal or human waste, or any sort of, very strong rogue scenes in the actual video. And the content itself could be around explosions, shooting, any sort of gang violence. This is something we do not want to see. We may even remove the video if we feel that it's just not something we want to have on the platform. So you need to be very, very mindful of how you design the content that you have in your videos. I've already explained the key principles, so I'm going to just move on and show you a few examples. So here we have a sporting event. On the left side, you can clearly see, it's a boxing match. We know there's a bit of violence. It's a boxing game. Nothing that is alarming or could shock the audience. The second one now is something we will not monetize, and we may even remove from the platform because, yes, exactly, there's no explanation needed, as someone has said in the comments, because it's just so obvious. You don't want to see people bleeding during a match. Second one, it's more of a video game. We have a lot of gamers on the platform, and we may have a few gamers on the call as well. So again, the first one, you can see a lot of blood, a lot of violence. We don't want kids to see this. We don't even want adults to see this on the platform, simply because it doesn't promote what YouTube stands for. Whereas the second video on the right is still a game. However, they're fighting, there's no blood, there are no weird scenes. So that is something we would normally monetize on the platform. Yes, the first one might be a great game, but we still won't monetize it on the platform.
Grace, can you talk a little bit about games like Counter-Strike, for example, where the game kind of like revolves around shooting people, and our like guidelines on that?
Yes, so when it comes to shooting, and I can see someone has their hand up as well. So when it comes to shooting, if it's the sound and we can see the gun but not the bullets, I know it may sound weird, then it's fine. However, if we can see the gun, the bullet, and the person dying, then we will not monetize it. And we may even remove the video off the platform, because shooting is unfortunately part of many gaming videos right now. So we can't really say we don't want the sound. However, there's a way you can go around it if this is some sort of content that you like to post.
Great. The orange wall has their hands up. Feel free to unmute yourself and ask a question.
Hi, thank you. My question, I'd actually raised my hand up just before you had started the segment. So let me know if you want me to still ask the question now. It was around monetization of content that is cross-platform. So for example, we sometimes will put up a video on YouTube, but equally we feel that it may do well on Instagram or on our other platforms as well. We haven't in the past then used the same video on we haven't used the video that's already on YouTube on any other platform, but we wanted to ask if we can, especially because the framing of it would be different on Instagram versus YouTube.
Yeah.
So if we are we able to use the exact same video on two different unrelated platforms?
Yeah, great question. You can definitely repost your videos on other platforms. This will not have any impact on your reach or your monetization.
Okay, so it doesn't count as reused content, and is there a rule as to that it should be posted to YouTube before it gets posted anywhere else?
No, reused content is more about, let's say if you repost the same video over and over again, or if you're reposting a video that has already existed on the platform that was created by someone else, that would be reused content.
Okay, so for our own videos, if we just decide to use it on a different platform as well, do we even need to then change the framing of it?
No, that's completely fine. You can, on other platforms, you can do whatever you want. Take your content with you, cross post. You don't have to change anything.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Great question.
Thank you. That was a really good question, so thank you. Okay, so moving on, again, very, very quick example. You can see that one of the videos, the one on the left, perfectly fine to be monetized. The other is also not completely wrong. So we may monetize it. However, the amount of brands that you have options with will be limited. So just to make you all aware, just because we say we won't monetize a video, it doesn't always mean that you will have all brands available to you when it comes down to the monetization. Again, here we have Call of Duty, Battlefield type of games. And we have a few gamers in the call. So you already know the difference. And I'm happy you guys are here actually, because I was concerned that we may not have any gamers here. So happy to have you. And, now that you guys are starting to sort of get the hang of things, we can see what sets them apart and what's sort of just a regular game. So I'm going to play this quick video, and then I'd like for you guys to let me know whether you believe this would be monetized or not. So let me press play. Oh, at the moment, I'm not sure if I can press play. Marietta, can you press play? Yeah.
Top of the morning to you, ladies. My name is Jacksepticeye, and welcome back to Besiege. A couple of things that I got for this episode. We're not going to go straight into Sandbox. I will do it in a few minutes, I think. I don't know yet. But I went on the forums for this game. They actually have forums up now. I don't know if they had them all the time. But when I went onto it, people are sharing, like, their creations. Remember when I did Autocraft, there was, like, creations that everyone had built. And that I could go in and see what, well, not that other people had built, but the developers had built. And I could go in and see what they were. But now I can do it in this as well. So, I downloaded a bunch of stuff. I don't really know how... Oh, okay. I don't know how much of them work. They all have their own different buttons, and they're all really, really complex. You should see some of this shit. Look at this thing. This is something that you go into Mordor with. Or so, actually, this is something that Mordor brings to you. They park this in front of your castle, and they blow the shit out of you. I don't know how it works. Oh, look at this! The panels on the front open up! That is so cool! Can we fire? Oh! I fired top cannons! Go! Destroy that little house! Yeah! I don't want to end it though. Ah, there we go. Ah, okay. Oh! That covers up the top cannons! That's clever! And the flamethrowers move as well! That's awesome! Do you flame up? Oh, yes! I move it up and down. Awesome! People told me as well that in my thumbnail for the last one, the flames look like a German flag, which I never realized, like the yellow, the orange, or the reddish, and the black. It's awesome! Okay, so we can't really use this guy all that much. I really wanted to! Sorry. Woo! There's a little thing inside you! How do I make you go? Oh my god! It separates! There's two little things! That is the coolest! Except I can't make the camera follow you. You're just gonna have to drive off on your own. Woo-hoo-hoo! Go drifting! Go around the house! I know I'm not destroying much. I will not go down without a fight! Oh god, the springs are all messed up. Let's see what happens now. I pulled the wheels together and squished someone. Squished and crushed together. Thank you all for the birthday wishes yesterday, by the way. It was so nice. So many people said happy birthday to me. YouTube themselves even said.
Right, very quickly for the gamers, this sort of content cannot be on the platform. Please do not attempt to create such content. As you can see, there is blood And there's a lot of graphic stuff happening here, so we do not want to see this. Right, moving on. Again, we have another quick example. Marietta, just skip to the middle and play around 30 seconds so we can move on. Right, so as you can see, it had a great start, and that would the beginning probably would have been fine. However, as we got to the middle of the video, it's an absolute no-no. So yes, that escalated very quickly, and it's something we don't want to see on the platform. So please do not attempt again. Okay, so let's
Grace, we just got one question around this, and I think it's actually quite a good question as well. So this is a news channel, and they're asking, can they show the victim of a crime when they're injured, just as part of the news report?
yeah,
So
so
there's a victim that has blood all over their face. Would that be something that they can show?
yes, because I actually work with a lot of news partners on the platform, and this question comes up a lot. And if it's a sort of educational content or more of a reporting kind of scene or content, then that's perfectly fine. Because again, we need to educate the world on what's happening. And we do understand that this sort of scene will come up more when it comes to news content. So yes, that's perfectly fine.
Test. Finally. Sorry for interrupting. Just my question regarding of the news. Will the algorithm, so the machinical checkup, will they identify the victims, the blood, and will they demonetize my video until some human sets it for free, or do I need to test it, or is there some kind of guideline I can follow up, because I'm doing news about serious themes, and for me it's super important to know. Thank you.
I'm more than happy to follow up and have a separate call with you, because I work with a few news partners. But just to answer your question on a high level basis, so our machine learning system will also read the description of the video. So if you clearly outline that this is a news reporting sort of video scene and you're only reporting based off recent events, then it's perfectly fine. However, if you do have the victim on the video lying down for more than 2 minutes, it's not okay, because it may trigger people. So it's also very important to have trigger warnings when you create this kind of content, to again make people aware of what is about to come up. If it's a quick scene, then it's fine, but a prolonged view on said victims is not really encouraged. But again, I'm more than happy to go into more detail with you. Okay, just to move on in the interest of time, adult content. So when it comes to adult content, we already know what this sort of means. So any sort of sexual, aggressive content, nudity, it's something we don't want to see. And I've had creators say to me, I'm just doing a haul on an outfit, and my boobs are showing, but it's a nice outfit. How come it didn't get monetized? Well, we look at everything when it comes to nudity and adult content. Someone may see that video and think, oh, this is interesting. And that's what we want to avoid, because we're not, we're a good platform. We do not encourage any sort of bad behavior. So as you already know, when it comes to adult content, we look at the sort of images you use. Is it real? Is it cartoony? What sort of impression does it give on the audience? Does it represent the platform? And what is your intent behind it? Very important. So again, we have 2 examples. The first one, we may advertise, but you may not have many brands. The second one, completely fine. So Marietta, just skip to the middle and play 30 seconds of each so that we know what exactly this means.
Sexual positions. Anything other than the common missionary position was considered unnatural and therefore a sin. punishments for those using deviant sexual positions could be very harsh, going up to 3 years penance. 3 years! Ain't nobody got time for that. Contraception.
Not to start that conversation. It's really important that you're not talking at your child. You want it to be a dialogue, and you want both of you to be a part of the conversation. One of the easiest questions to say first is, what do you think about that? And if your teen says, I don't know, and shrugs it off, then that gives you a chance to say, well, this is actually what I think about that. The important part to remember is that it's not one big talk. It's actually lots of small pieces of information.
Yeah, so as you can see on the left video, you know, it's aimed at kids. However, not many brands will believe that it's suitable for all children. And if I'm perfectly honest, not all parents may want their children to watch this content. And I'm sure a few people in the chat would agree with me on that. The second video is more around a mother wanting to educate a teenager around what it means to be to have a sort of sexual life, and you know, just educating them on what they may like or dislike about such experiences. Anyway, the difference is it's not so obvious. However, when you do watch the videos, you will know what you may be a bit more comfortable with. Another example here.
But whether it buys you the right kind of publicity for the arguments that you're trying to get across, to which I'm pretty sympathetic, I'm not sure. I mean, I'm not convinced that it's really a feminist act to take your clothes off and flash your breasts in public. I mean, I think that probably gets you the wrong kind of publicity, and you have had problems, haven't you, with men kind of directing the group. It seems a little dubious about whether this was really kind of orchestrated by some kind of male Svengali.
I think it's not a problem because of the way of our protests. It was inner problem in our group with this man. But I want to say that
this is Victor, is it?
Yeah.
And he was a founder of the group, was he?
He was one of the men who were around when we.
Right, so the first video was actually about women protesting naked and sort of trying to harass Angela Merkel in the video. And the second one was a feminist protest again, but was more of an educational video, which is what we want to see on the platform. We do not want to see any sort of nakedness. And I know there is some sort of naked bike ride happening in London soon. Please do not film it. Please do not put it on the platform. We will not monetize it, and we do not want to see it. Thank you.